about 4 weeks ago. This was supposed to happen pre-pandemic. Something happened, and I got on to Ray about 4 weeks ago, and we managed to get this all happening in a very short period of time. Jimmy and Castle Studios gave us the facility in here to put this up. I stole all these chairs to the Korean wedding venue. And the fucking kettle. But anyway, so Ray Weston, everybody.
Yeah. So I kind of started playing, learning how to play drums on a gig and getting paid for it, which was pretty amazing, because at that point I thought, I'm getting paid for this? This is amazing, you know? And that was a big thing. So I think I owe it to Brian, because things might have got a huge thing in me, and I wanted to share that with you because Brian's here, right? And I've told my wife about this many times, and in the break there I introduced my wife. I said, "This is the guy, darling, him," you know, and she went, "Yes, I've heard all about you," you know. And I went to George. I think we were playing a gig, and George was. That's right. George was on. Acabilt was on the gig, right? And George was drumming. It was like, you know, it was like Buddy Rich, right? It was. I was like, who is this guy? I was right watching him. Everyone. I thought I can have some lessons from him. So I got his number. Started having some lessons with George. Although a lot of the lessons met meeting in the pub, you know.
I was born with a hopeful heart. What you would call the end, I'd call the start. And my heart beats up like an autumn beats the rain. I won't be wasting time on you again.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. So, you know, I'd get the gig to come up with something lively. Kind of, that's roughly what I did, you know. And then he would like, hey Ray, yeah, that sounds great, man. Maybe just change the bridge part, which is the middle eight part, a little bit. Make it a little bit more kind of straighter. Not as many crashes. When I play crashes, I like a lot of '60s drummers. You know, like the Bobby Elliott's, Bobby Graham, And I didn't actually realise that a lot of the drummers of the 60s I knew were like two guys. Bobby Graham, who played all the Dave Clark songs, you know. We all know that one, right? Right. And Glad All Over. It was all Bobby Graham, and You Really Got Me by the Kinks. I always loved those drum tracks, and I thought they're great drummers. One guy, you know, he was a session guy, but they never played a lot of cymbals. When they did a drum fill, for example, they'd be playing the song, and they wouldn't come out in a crash, and I always paid attention to that. They'd be playing like, you know, a straight rock groove. Not backing on the one. Didn't come out in the crash, and I paid attention to that because a lot of drummers, and what I just did there, I did play a lot of crashes because that's what the client wanted. But I really dug the way that they swung. They used to swing. They weren't like a lot of very kind of linear type playing that happens today. And of course, they came from that swing period. They came from skiffle, they came from big bands and stuff like that. And then even Bonham and Bill Ward, who we were talking about earlier, those guys, their generation, were listening to Little Richard, all swing, which was Earl Palmer. He was a drummer on all the Little Richard songs and Eddie Cochran songs as well. And you remember Mickey Most, anyone?
Yep.
Right. Okay. So he was responsible for a lot of pop songs, Hot Chocolate, so much Susie Quatro, so many bands of that time. So he was a big name producer, and I got the song that we were doing. We're going to be doing it with a click track. And I was like, what's a click track? And then they hadn't kind of like really figured out what a click would be. And they were using what then was the prototype Lindrum. And the Lindrum was a drum machine. Very expensive at the time. But instead of getting a click like that, you know, easy to follow, or you could get eight notes doing that. You got, and I was like, what the? And then learning about fourths being like 1, 2, 3, 4. Learn about 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 16. 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 1, triplets. You know, just getting to do that is going to give you good time. Practicing that is going to give you a very good time.